What is up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you guys with a brand new video for the new September 2020 format. So, I have been out of the game ever so slightly, so my sincerest apologies for a little bit of the lacked content over the last few weeks, but this is probably the deck that I am going to be taking going forwards back to my first locals of the format, simply because it feels like the most secure pick into both Rogue and the meta. This is a revisitation of the Brickless, I guess, yeah, we'll call it what was the Brickless Dinosaur deck. We've now introduced a whole new way of bricking the deck to this list, which we'll get to in a few moments' time. But before we get into the list, I would love to introduce you guys again to the sponsor of today's video, and that is cardmarket.com. Today's video is sponsored by cardmarket.com. Cardmarket.com is your one-stop shop for the European TCG market. Shop from all major card games in all major languages. I use Cardmarket almost every day for my deck profile stocks and my ever-growing foreign collection. With Cardmarket, you can search in all conditions, all rarities, and all languages. Check out the link to their site in the description down below. Cardmarket is also sponsoring free giveaways on my Facebook page, so be sure to check out that page in the link below. Play hard and trade smart with Cardmarket.com. Thank you so much, guys. Please do check out the links in the description down below. Helps out the channel, helps out Card Market. Thank you to them for supporting us. And just as a heads up, people did ask me for the main combo of this list in the previous video. I will bring that combo at the end of this video, so stay tuned. It will be in here, and it will hopefully be chaptered if I have enough time to put that in. This is based on the fact that, of course, we've now seen O-Lion go the way of the Dodo, and we can't use the Auroradon combo that would normally make True King of all Calamities. But fear not, this version of Dinosaur can make it very, very easily with main engine cards with almost no bricks in the list. And in fact, if you weren't playing the Dragoon engine, which I am, you can actually play this list with 0 brick cards, with the exception of maybe Aolo. But let's get into the monster lineup, and we'll see, you'll kind of see how this all pans out. The only other thing to point out, as I'm going to go through this, I'm going to talk a lot about different ways you could build the list and bend it towards a going first or going second. I'm very bipolar on the way you build this list at the moment. There's part of me that wants to play the Dogmatika version, which this is, but there's also a part of me that wants to take the Dogmatikas out, play almost an entirely bent towards going second list, that if it happens to go first, can just make a VFD, because that's the way this can play. It can play into both boards, so there are a variety of ways we can take this. You can want to play more hand traps. I've just kind of gone for the vanilla variant, and you can bend this in a direction depending on what way you see fit. It's going to become very clear what cards are important and what aren't. So, getting into this, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. So, Oviraptor is still one of your most important cards in the deck, and the fact that it's still at 3, blah, 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 means that Dinosaur is still just absolutely heinous in the metagame. The fact that this is an integral combo card in the deck that can either be normal summoned to get you to your second combo card, or that can be special summoned off of other components of the combo with things like Baby Ceresaurus to get you to where you need to be. Card is just, and it is just, and continues to be just absolutely disgusting, and Dinosaur will never be the same without it if it goes away. We then also play 3 copies of Miscellaneousaurus. Miscellaneousaurus it grew to a whole new level of importance with the release of Animadorned Archosaur. So the card is an absolute shoo-in. With the combo, you're almost always going to be adding this, discarding it, sending it to the graveyard, and then using it to make your way to an Archosaur to blow up something like a Baby Ceresaurus in your hand, and that is full combo. So it's absolutely necessary to get you to your Archosaur. The Archosaur then sets you up with things like your double evolution pill, which gets you to ridiculous cards like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and the rest of the game is history. So it's a very, very simple situation that Miscellaneousaurus is, at worst, a 1-card way to your main boss monster, at best, a massive combo extender. And then, speaking of boss monsters, we are actually technically playing 3. We're playing 1 copy of Overtex Coatlas. That is because your ending board on in this combo does go through an Archosaur, which means you are going to be searching for a double evolution pill. You want to use that double evolution pill to get yourself something that's going to complement True King of all Calamities, and Ultimate Conductor Tyranno doesn't really do that. True King of all Calamities is already shutting down pretty much every monster under the sun, so Coatlas comes in by giving you a way to stop spells and traps. Helpfully as well, when the Coatlas does die, it then searches you another double evolution pill, which gets you to your 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to then push your opponent back out when the turn passes back across to you, because it's very, very, very unlikely your opponent's going to be able to blow you out or OTK you if they've been Calamities. And the Coatlas is also there, most importantly, to stop that Calamities getting impermanenced. So fun little interactions there indeed. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is the boss monster that requires absolutely no introduction. It is a monstrous board clear. It's a ridiculous Book of Moon effect. You know, loads of people think Book of Eclipse is really good out to most boards in the metagame. Well, how about Book of Eclipse in the form of a 3,500 attack monster that can attack everything? It's pretty crazy, to be honest. Pretty crazy. And then otherwise, the only other dinosaurs we want to play, we're going to start getting pretty small now, is the 2 Anima-Adorned Archosaur. I think 2 is still correct. You don't really mind drawing this. 3 is a bit much in this variant of the list, but if you went Dinosaur Pure and bumped up the number of babies, which you're about to see in my lineup, you can probably go to 3 Archosaur and be loving life. But for the other babies that I'm playing, it's the 2 copies of Baby Ceresaurus, because you obviously always want to be using destroying it to search your way to your Iolo and your Anima-Adorned Archosaur, depending on how your board has played out. And it can, of course, like I was saying before, it's also a way to get through to Oviraptor, because you do occasionally have plays where you open Archosaur, Baby Ceresaurus, and you go Archosaur, pop Baby Ceresaurus, special Oviraptor. Oviraptor can search you a Miscellaneousaurus, and you can combo that way. And then we also play the 1 Petit Pteranodon as a variety of names. Gets around to the Call by the Grave interaction, but of course, Call by the Grave is a 1 now, big sad, so it's not too relevant. Then, as utility cards, we play 1 copy of Jirac Iolo, because it's very important for our Halqifibrax play, and then 1 copy of Giant Rex. This could be another baby dragon. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It makes Dolka watch more consistently, and I really like Evolzar Dolka. So Giant Rex is staying in the list for the time being. And that rounds off the full dinosaur lineup of the list. It is quite a colossal lineup, but honestly, it's still one of the most powerful engines in Yu-Gi-Oh! At this time, so that's why it's a big lineup. We're then playing 2 copies for our Dogmatika core, 2 copies of Ecclesia, and 2 copies of Fleur-de-Lis. I really just like the interruption that this generates. The fact that going second, you can special the Ecclesia to then search and use Fleur-de-Lis to push out one of your opponent's negates with great ease, and very often end up with an extra body on your board for your troubles. Going first, of course, you can use Fleur-de-Lis to set up a Dogmatika punishment, and of course, if you're searching your Ecclesia out using Nadir Servant, you're probably also setting up a Shadol Schism, which makes your opening board absolutely bananas. So that's that lineup. Then, in terms of the additional tuners we play, which also happen to be some of the best hand traps in the game, we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. So this is the monster that we're actually summoning instead of O-Lion and cards like that actually get us through to our draw 2 True King of All Calamities combo. So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, Ash Blossom is Ash Blossom. But it's also very important as a level 3 tuner in the list. And then for the reintroduced bricks, we're playing 1 copy of Dark Magician and 1 copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon for the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon engine. So for the spell lineup, we'll get the one-offs out of the way. We're playing 1 copy of Red Eyes Fusion for very obvious reasons. And then we're playing 1 Call by the Grave, because this is a combo deck. It's basically for very obvious reasons, but it's very saddening that this is at 1. It's a card that I really wanted to play at 3. I really want my combos to go through and avoid hand traps, and the fact that Call by the Grave is now at 1 makes me very sad indeed, and I need to try and find new ways around the problem. But yeah, we'll find those as and when they come. Then we're playing 2 copies of Double Evolution Pill, because you absolutely go through 2 in almost all games. 3 is still a little bit bricky. You're going to be searching these quite consistently, and you want to always have 1 in your main deck at any given point as a target for your Anima-Adorned Archosaur. And then, of course, you want the second one to search to get the maximum value out of your Coatlas. We then play a number of 3-off spells. We play 3 copies of Fossil Dig, because it's an Omni-Searcher for all of your important combo cards. Fixes hands. I don't really need to say much more on the topic. 3 copies of Lost World. Not sure how I feel about this. I really like it because of the fact that it gives your opponent the token, so it makes your stuff untargetable. It's negate bait. You can use it to chain block, but I'm still, without advanced testing in the metagame, I'm not entirely sure how I feel on it, so I suppose time will tell. The jury's out. This can probably come out for 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More, and it would fill the same void that I like to use this for. But yeah, I'm mixed. Then the final 3 spells we do play are 3 copies of Nadir Servant. So Nadir Servant is in here for very, very obvious reasons. It does get very slightly bricky later on in the game because, of course, you're only playing 2 Ecclesia and 3 Nadir Servant, but I don't see a situation in which you're going to see multiples of each. This is a very, very quick deck that generates a very, very quick game of a very small number of turns. So I don't really feel that it's entirely necessary. Also, I wanted to play extra copies because of the fact that this combo allows you to draw 2 fairly late in the combo. You do want to try to draw towards Nadir Servant before you draw towards Ecclesia, simply because Nadir Servant gives you access to the Shadol combo as well as the Ecclesia, whereas the Ecclesia just gives you the Fleur-de-Lis. So I'd rather have a Shadol and a Fleur-de-Lis rather than just the Fleur-de-Lis. And then that's it for the spells, and then we run into just 2 traps that we play, because I've got the impermanences from the previous list, but they could still very much find their way back in a going second build. And that's 1 punishment to search for when we're going first, and 1 schism for when we open this guy, because it's too powerful not to. Then for the extra deck. The extra deck is, I guess, fairly simple, but fairly packed. If you manage to drop the Dogmatika engine, you get to have a lot more creativity with this. But let's get right into it. So for the Xyz monsters, we're playing 1 copy of True King of All Calamities, VFD, however you want to refer to it, and then the 1 copy of Volzar Dolka. I feel like these are the 2 most important picks. This could easily be Abyss Dweller, but I feel like because you're playing a dinosaur deck, this is so much more versatile. The fact that it gives you 2 negates in the same turn. I think I prefer Dolka in the current metagame, especially with the rock deck going down in popularity, and of course Block Dragon being taken away. So I think Dolka is the smarter pick at the moment. Of course, the VFD is the whole point of all of our combos. Then for our Link monsters, I really, really, really want to find the space to put in an Almiraj and a Secure Gardener if I'm going to be playing I forgot the name of them now, Dogmatika package, just because I want to be able to play Maximus and be able to take advantage of him that way. And it's very hard for me to get extract monsters into the graveyard unless I already have full combo anyway, in which case the Dogmatika engine is kind of just gravy rather than being of any main use. So that's something that I want to put in here going forward. But let's get into it. We play 2 Link 1s in the form of 1 Link Karibo and 1 Link Cross. Link Cross is hugely important for our little combo that we're going to be doing. For our Link 2s, we play 3. We play 1 copy of Verte Anaconda for the very, very obvious Dragoon combo. 1 copy of Crystron Halka Fibrax because it's hugely, hugely necessary for our VFD combo. And then our real utility monster, and this is the only utility monster we're really playing in this extra deck, is the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, just because some back row can really shut us out. So we make Link 2s like it's going out of fashion. We get the extra value so we can go through like Phoenix into Hulk or Phoenix into Anaconda, things like that. So it's not hugely problematic to find the space for this and find the resources for it. That's the Link monster lineup. It's 5 monsters. They're all there as accessories to get to bigger things. Play 1 Synchro monster and you'll see where the combo is coming from. We're playing 1 copy of Ravenous Crocodile Arcathis. We actually don't play any of the other ladder cards. We don't play the O-Lion stuff, so we don't play Auroradon. We don't play Garden Rose Maiden or Coral Dragon or anything. We're just making this hard out of 9 stars of actual monsters. So this guy's crazy good, and we'll come to him. And then for the fusions, you knew there was going to be loads because this is playing a Dogmatika engine. So it's the 2 copies of Elder Entity and Entis. One of these this can definitely go down to 1. So if you need to find room for like a Nightmare Unicorn, which I really want to find room for, this can be Nightmare Unicorn. This can carry on being Entis. Or you can make one of these Pegasus. It's entirely up to you. We then play 1 copy of El Shadol Abkalone and the 1 Shadol Winder, just because for very obvious reasons we need them for the Schism. So that's why they find their way in there. Titaniclad for the extra search into the Dogmatika cards. And then we're playing the 1 Dragoon. Very, very simple reason for that, because we've seen the whole rest of the engine in here. And then the one copy of Trishula, the Dragon of Icy Imprisonment, which is our other level 9 that we're using to summon True King of all Calamities. So, okay guys, we're going to get into the little combo. I'm going to I'm playing this upside down, so it's probably going to be the messiest combo video I ever do. 3 of the cards in our hand are pretty much irrelevant. What you primarily want to start with is Soul Eating Oviraptor and Miscellaneousaurus, or a way to get to Soul Eating Oviraptor, or a way to get to your Misk, is basically the way we want to do this. We're going to separate these 3 cards away and just going to have them sit just off of shot, because we really don't need them at all. We're going to be normal summoning our Soul Eating Oviraptor and activating its effect. And of course, we are doing this full combo, assuming no one is going to hand trap us. Then everything gets a little bit more variable. We're adding a Baby Ceresaurus to our hand, who's very, very important to this combo play. We're then going to use Oviraptor. So we're then going to use the Miscellaneousaurus, discarding it to the graveyard, and then banishing it immediately to special summon a copy of Animadorned Archosaur from our deck. Archosaur is going to go... It's kind of irrelevant where the positions are. I know that it comes up very occasionally, but it's not too important. Archosaur is going to then destroy Baby Ceresaurus, searching us a double evolution pill to our hand. So I'll put it kind of off shot a little bit. And then Baby Ceresaurus is going to trigger to special summon us another baby from the deck. Then we're going to use Oviraptor on this baby to then summon the other one from the graveyard. And then the one that we destroyed is going to trigger special summoning us our Jurak Aeolo. So this is the point at which all the combos need to get to. So regardless of how you do it, and regardless of what play you actually undertake depending on your hand, this is the board you need to get to, which is an Aeolo, an Oviraptor, an Animadorned Archosaur, and a Baby Ceresaurus, or at the very least a way to have a tuner here and at least a level 1, and the relevant levels of a 2 and a 4. So it's fairly inflexible. We're going to turn the Archosaur into a copy of Linkuriboh, and I hope that this isn't falling off of shot for you guys, because we need to get quite early a monster in the graveyard that is not a dinosaur in case anything gets stopped because our double evolution pill wants to trigger. We're then going to turn the Linkuriboh and the Aeolo into a copy of wherever you have gone. Very, very simple. Halqifibrax. Halqifibrax is, of course, going to trigger special summoning, and this is where it gets cool, your copy of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Now, for those who didn't figure it out in the last video, this makes level 9. So what we do is we then turn all of these into our copy of Ravenous Crocodile Arcathis, and Arcathis, because it used 2 non-tuners, allows us to draw 2 new cards. So we'll use these 2 copies of Lost World. So they can be, honestly, more Ash Blossoms. They can be getting you into your Dogmatika engine, but it draws you 2. So that's an additional free resources. We're then turning the Halqifibrax into Linkuriboh. Sorry, Linkross. Linkuriboh. And Linkross is going to get us, I don't actually have my tokens, so I'm just going to use 2 face downs. So Linkross is, of course, going to get us the 2 tokens. We're then going to tribute a token immediately for our Linkuriboh that's in our graveyard, special summoning it back. And then because we have 3 monsters on the field with different names, we can tribute these and the token for our copy of Trishula, Dragon of Icy Imprisonment, and then we can overlay these 2 for our copy of the mighty True King of all Calamities. And then we still have 6 cards in our hand. So, of course, everything else here is a blank. We don't know what they are. They are irrelevant. They can be whatever the hell we want. But the one thing that we do know we searched is our double evolution pill. We're then, of course, playing the double evolution pill, banishing a non-dinosaur and a dinosaur for all we care. And then that's, of course, going to get us our Overtex Coatlas from the deck. We almost always want to go with Overtex here. Overtex can be pretty cool because it could destroy a baby in your hand and get you to other plays on the field. But of course, it is primarily there to stop spells and traps that would be out to get your True King of all Calamities. But I digress. That brings us to about the end of all of that. I hope you have all enjoyed, and I hope the combo makes a little bit more sense now. It's called Brickless because it technically, the main deck doesn't have to play any brick cards to bend to the actual play. So it makes it a bit better than having to play cards like O-Lion and Jet Synchron. Well, not Jet Synchron. Jet Synchron's really not a brick. But you get the idea. So, closing this out, a big thank you again to Card Market for sponsoring the video and supporting the channel. Wouldn't be able to do this without them. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. Lets me know you enjoy this sort of thing. And especially if you enjoyed having the combo in here, let me know that in the comment section down below. If you have any friends that are interested in the dinosaur deck and they want a new take on it, please feel free to share this with them. And otherwise, I'll see you in the comment section down below with your thoughts. I hope you've all enjoyed. I've been Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Peace out. Bye-bye.